It's a wonderful Monday morning, and a lot of people are saying Monday is a serious day, but today seems too serious for almost everybody, including the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. Talking about which, yes, presently he is on Arise News granting an interview that has to do with post-election matters. If you could recall, Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate, came just once on interview when he granted the last one, and he declared his intentions to go to court over the election results rendered inconclusive. Watch the video, and when we come back, I know he said a lot, of course. If you know him too well, you know that he takes his time to drop words of wisdom, and he takes his time to answer questions that are being thrown to him. Watch the video. When we come back, I'm going to give you a lot of analysis on whatever he said. We're going to link it to the election results, and then you see how everything is playing out, and then you might be kind of tempted to think or to know where the judges are going to place their stick or their verdict. Thank you very much. When we come back, we'll talk about it.
First, that I've always stated that the APC presidential candidate is an elder brother. I can even call him a father. And I have all respect for him and everything. I've not been opportune to speak with him. You know, I don't have any issue with him. I respect him, and I'll continue to do so. I'm only challenging the process in which he was declared winner, because that process is wrong, and that process must be corrected. I believe that the things must be done rightly. We must follow the law, rule of law. We must have a society where things are done in a decent, organized manner. Essentially, as we're trying to build this new nation that will be exemplary and the world will take us serious and respect us. Number two is that what you see as ethnic strife is just people trying to hide under what does not exist to cause confusion. There's no such. The vote that got in Lagos, I said it earlier without knowing you were going to ask it, got across everybody in Lagos from the, call it Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, Jijons, any of the tribes that reside in Lagos voted for me. I can tell you that I have a lot of people who I know have truly Yoruba, who are actually supporting me 24 hours. And it shouldn't be. Of rivers were counted. Reuben and won. Have over 50-something% of the vote. The other two parties were sharing the order. And it was, I won in Asoro. So, will you say it's rigging? Which machinery do I have to rig? I have no councillor, I have no local government chairman, no this thing. I'm not in control of police. I don't even know any DPO. So which machinery will I use to rig? How will you do? They are the ones who I believe in this. What they are doing is what I'm trying to change. So those who say you have satisfied what I came for are part of the people we are trying to change. Who are those who voted for me in Abuja? Were the Igbos. Nobody got 25% in Abuja among the two parties. Is it the Igbos who voted for me in Jos, in Plateau? Is it the ones in Nasarawa? Is it the Igbos in occupying Nasarawa? The governor of Nasarawa said I won't get 10% of the votes in Nasarawa. The governor of Kaduna said I won't get 2,000 in Nasarawa. In Kaduna, I got 300,000. So let us not, at 300,000 Igbos in Kaduna. So where does this start? It's just people, I'm appealing to people for the interest of Nigeria. Today, we have a Pakistani as mayor of London, an Indian as prime minister. And they are doing far better than we're doing. In this place that is not even working, we're still trying to divide ourselves based on, and that's what we're trying to remove. It is this rascality, it is this structure we're trying to remove that brings this hatred, which we must remove in this system, so that the system can work. Especially church leaders, traditional rulers, and all that, and other men, very respectful to them. And I think they should be respected for what they represent in our society, but I disagree with them. What they're actually preaching is the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is accepting wrongdoing, accepting what is unacceptable. That is using God's name in vain. That's not what God said. God said, do not use my name in vain. So what they're saying is not God's wish. It is not God's plan for Nigeria. So why don't we accept that the 133 million Nigerians who are poor is God's wish? Why don't we accept that 95 million Nigerians living in absolute poverty is God's wish? It is God's wish that we don't have electricity. It is God's wish that our children are kidnapped. It is God's wish that we have collapsed primary health care, leading us to be the country with the highest infant mortality. It is everything happening is God's way. That's not what God says. No. God's wish is when you do the right thing. And in the end, it is not. This election was predicated and planned. And we have clear laws about the conduct of the election. If it was followed, if these results were uploaded from the booth, polling units, like they said, to the server and everything, we won't be here, we won't be talking about it. It would have been concluded in a matter of hours without anybody arguing about it. But it is not God's wish that you do the wrong thing. It is not God's wish that you go and rob a train and make money and start sharing it. It is not God's wish. This is what is killing the country. People come here, take public money, and then go and give it to people in the church and they say it's God's wish and start giving them title in the church, title in this. 93, Ruben. I lived in England. I have nothing to do with politics. I've never even, in 1993, my business was between here and the UK. I was living in England with my family. You know, if you want to know, my son was born in 1993, December. I'm going to check his birth certificate. He was in England. It's today, go and check it very well. So my daughter, go and check. There were primary schools in England. They can have little people who are in primary schools in England. And I'm in Nigeria, doing better in Nigeria. Well, my wife lives there. So who are they living with? So the people do all sorts of things. I was not involved in politics. Never even voted as at that time. You know, I was actually probably a businessman contributing to building a better Nigeria, involved in supporting Nigerian in different areas. Just like I said, I supported Abiola when he contested because I listened to what he was doing, and I was doing so in my capacity in different ways. And when he failed, they started Ndeko. There's other people who are involved in it, like Raphobia, whom I mentioned, or Leighton and who will tell you they know me and everything. So I don't know. There shouldn't be ethnic tension. People should go out and vote for Badebo. It's the right candidate. Like they go out and vote in other areas, even where I mentioned that if you have competent people in other parties, vote for them.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is still Nation's Voice Tower, your favorite YouTube channel. Peter Obi there on post-election matters. Well, if you are in Nigeria, even in diaspora, you'll really know that the man has been battling with not only inconclusive election results, but he has been battling with the fact that all political parties and all those involved in his pro side. You know what I mean? All of these people are looking for something to bring him down politically. But this interview today, I think, has come as a form of relief, or like a platform to make clear and really chase away or abate the doubts of people over his character and competence. What am I trying to say? Peter Obi today is addressing the fact that he has nothing so personal, or he has no personal vendetta with the APC presidential candidate, that is Bola Asiwaju Ahmed Tinibu. He went further to say that he has a very, very close relationship with this man, and he doesn't have an issue with him becoming president or taking the reign of affairs from President Muhammadu Buhari. But his own and his one issue is just the process that was followed to declare Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect by INEC. That is what he feels is the only issue right now at hand, according to Peter Obi. The Labour Party presidential candidate spoke on election results, as he called it, and termed it like a kind of premeditated results or a sort of planned agenda, according to him. You heard him in the video there. He was too critical with his words there, and he glaringly laughed at people who pointed at the fact that he rigged the election. Of course, if you've been on Twitter, on Instagram, and even on Facebook for the past 3 weeks since since INEC declared the election results and declared Bola Asiwaju Tinubu as the president-elect, you really know that a lot of people pointed accusing fingers at the Labour Party, although the minority party. Accusing fingers were pointed at the fact that Labour Party rigged the elections in places like Lagos State, places like Anambra State, and so on and so forth, even places like Port Harcourt, that is Rivers State. But the presidential candidate of this same party came up today on the Rise News to debunk all rumors. He rightly said that he won votes in places like the Aso Rock. He won Abuja with over 25% of votes. He won places like Plateau State, like Jos. He won in places like Lagos, all right? He won in places like Nasarawa State. So this man came out to point out that if he won in places like this, then are you trying to say that it's the Igbos that are resident in these places that voted for Peter Obi? That is a very, very critical analysis to make there, because from the blueprint that was presented by all agents of all the 18 political parties that participated in the presidential elections, we seem to see that all hands are pointing at the fact that INEC have a different or a kind of doctored result than what all other international communities, including party agents, have as their own results. The Labour Party presidential candidate stated that he had over 50% and above votes generally, and of course he said the other two parties shared the other votes in Abuja. He reiterated to the fact that if he wants to rig an election, of course, we all know that in Nigeria, when you want to partake in such a dastardly act, you have to make sure that you are quite guarded by cohorts and accomplices. He said he cannot rig election when he doesn't have a councillor of Labour Party presently. He doesn't have a DPO to himself. He doesn't have the Nigerian Police Force, a kind of the ones to command for himself. Okay, he said he doesn't really have a local government chairman presently sitting. So how will he rig the election? Like, who are those that are going to come up for him to speak or to make things happen, if at all things should happen? Those were what the Labour Party presidential candidate reiterated there. But from what he said, he tends to point at the fact that without a machinery, or without some sort of machinery, you won't be able to rig an election. So he's thereby purging himself of those sins and offenses that people have been pouring out about the Labour Party and himself. Peter Obi reiterated that what people said about his activities in 1993, he pointed at the fact that some people sometime before the elections and even after the elections said he has always put hands in politics right from the early 90s. But the Labour Party presidential candidate and the former governor of Anambra State really spoke out during this just concluded interview on the Rise. He said that during the 1993 days and the early 90s, he was somewhere in UK. The man made most evidences very, very known and glaring to Nigerians. He said you could go and check. Of course, people know him with the fact that he says go and check or go and verify. He said you could go and verify from his son's birth certificate that has a UK hospital on it. You can also go and verify from his daughter's birth certificate that also has an inscription of London hospital on it. His wife too has been in London for some time. That is during the 1993 days. He also spoke and he made known the fact that he helped MKO Abiola during the 1993 elections. At the time, MKO Abiola was declared winner until his death sometime that year. Peter Obi spoke about how he came through for the then politician who represented the Southwest. Okay, well, he pledged his support for Gbadebo Vivo Roda, that is the gubernatorial candidate for the Labour Party in Lagos State. He urged people to vote this young man and this young prospect, and he said Gbadebo has a lot of capacity and potentials in him, and he can develop Lagos State to an economically inclined state and I think a commercial kind of state. That is that, and I hope you really paid attention to what he said. Well, this is just the second interview he granted since after the election results were declared. But I hope to see more of him, and we hope to bring you more about what he said. Analytically, of course, he has really said that he won't back out from the court case and he will pursue it to the last. We hope people find confidence in the judiciary, and we hope the judiciary render everything conclusive according to what the Nigerians want and according to the people's mandate. Thank you very much. I hope you also like our videos, share it, and then make sure you always stay glued to Nation's Voice Tower, because that is the only YouTube channel that brings you whatever you want to hear politically and at the time you want to hear it. See you next time. Peace out.